Hey guys, so I'm gonna say this would be the last one. I know I said the last one would be the last one of the day, but I thought it might be helpful as I was going through some of the content here to make sure that we also get our walls in here. And there's a couple different styles of walls that we can use on the project. And if you take a look at section B here, I'm gonna pop that open real quick. I can see from our section B, we've got structural reinforced walls and footing walls, concrete walls and footings, excuse me. So that's cool. And then where else is our, from what I could identify, we've got two types of walls. So we've got shear walls, so that's cool. Excuse me. And then our basement parking walls. Cool. So those two walls. The third wall is our exterior walls. And I thought I saw it up here. Exterior cladding. I see. The exterior cladding material is unitized curtain wall. That's cool. And then the exterior at all other sides of the building to be prefabricated panels with punched openings. So for those of us working in Revit, I'm not entirely sure what exterior cladding material means per se. It could be, prefabricated cladding material panels means. So I don't know what that means. It could be anything with punched openings. It's vague, so I think we need to get some clarification on what that means. That might mean unitized curtain wall with spandrel panel. It's a little vague to me. So what I figured today, what I could do is show you real quick a very fast way of getting some walls into our model. And before we start that, we should probably generate a couple different styles of walls. So before we do that, let's just make sure we have the walls that we want or need for the project. So I'm going to go ahead and rename this concrete wall. So what do we say? We've got, I find it interesting that this is split. Construction data versus structural data. So we've got, where's my wall? There we go. Structural reinforced walls. So shear walls. So 250 millimeters thick. So let's do structural wall, 250 shear wall. Let's do that real quick. I'm going to do edit, change that to 250, and that's really done. So that's cool. And now I'm going to come back in here, duplicate this type, and I'm going to say structural wall, parking, and that's got to be 300 millimeters. So sure. So parking 300 will make this 300 millimeters instead of 250. That's fine. And now, so we've done that one. What else do we have to build? We've got to build a, I could see here, we've got exterior cladding material is going to be thermally broken aluminum framing, and then at all other side of the building to be prefabricated cladding. Okay, so let's go ahead and maybe there's one in here we can use. Let's I'm just gonna hit OK. Let's see what we got in our walls. Prefabricated soldier course. It's all brick. It's all brick in here right now. So you guys might have something better than what I've got, but I've got lots of brick. So what I'm going to do instead is create my own. So real quick here, I'm going to duplicate this. I'm going to go pretty quick here because this is going to be an architectural prefabricated wall cladding. I don't know, again, I don't know if this means precast. I don't know what this means. So that's extraordinarily vague. All sides will be prefabricated with punched openings. I don't know what that means. So that could be precast panels. It could be a double wide precast. It could be a single wide precast. It could be any number of things. So if we're doing a prefabricated panel, I might also argue we could do this a slightly different way. So we need to get some clarity on that. For a schematic level design package, maybe what we do is we just generate a vague idea of what we want our wall assembly to be, and then we could kind of work forward with that. I'm going to give you what would be a high performance building assembly because that's what I'm used to working on. So I'm just going to do that. So wall cladding, and let's call this high performance so that you guys all know. I don't know how big it's going to be, so let's just get in here. If you haven't done this before, this is what our layout looks like. You can hit this little preview button and it will give you an idea of what this looks like in section and in plan. So section like this, plan like this. Right now we've just got concrete in here. Realistically, I'd like to make this let's call this a 152 stud wall. Structure's fine, but I do want to make this into a structural steel stud. See what we got in here. If I do stud, is that going to be helpful? Oops, not stud. Stud. Metal stud layer. Sure, that's cool. I was going to go ahead and insert some layers here. So I probably want one of these layers to be, whoops, cancel. Sometimes that happens. And now I'm outside of the tool. And nothing I did saved. Ta-da! Revit. Edit type, duplicate, architectural, prefab, wall, high performance, something you're going to remember. Sometimes it's helpful. I find at the very beginning, I'm going to do EW1, so exterior wall 1. Hit OK. Let's get back in here. It's going to be 152. Actually, you know what? Let's make it 203, which is a 8-inch stud. Stud layer. And insert here. I want to give myself a substrate, 19 millimeters. Give myself a vapor barrier. I should mention interior side, exterior side. So I'm building out what this looks like. So thermal air layer, insert, do some insulation in here. So thermal air layer. I want to do 200 millimeters of mineral wool insulation. I don't know if mineral wool lives in here. So let's see if insulation. Rigid's fine for now. Leave that in there. We need a little airspace in here. So insert air. Let's give ourselves 50 millimeters. Oops, 50 with a 5-0. Air is in here. Ta-da! Air. Insert some sort of cladding. So finish here. I'm going to choose, let's call it 50 millimeters. It's probably going to be smaller than that, but that's okay. I'm going to choose aluminum composite panels. So aluminum composite is just 2 layers of aluminum and then a little polyethylene core. So aluminum, good to go. Something like that. And then maybe on the inside, and move that down, we'll do a little 16 millimeter drywall. Gypsum wallboard, drywall, what have you. 16 millimeters. So now you can see in section and in plan roughly what this is going to look like. This is schematic design, so we just want to have an idea of how thick this wall is. You can see 538 there, pretty beefy. Good for us. I'm going to hit OK. Zero thickness layer must have, membrane, my mistake. Okay, so sometimes you'll get that error. This is wrong. It's got to be membrane layer. Hit OK. And now we got our wall ready to go. I'm just going to not do anything, and I'm going to generate my new wall type for my penthouse. I'm going to duplicate this, high performance. I'm going to call this penthouse wall. Should rename this EW2 so I don't get confused. EW2. So, what do we call it? We've got insulated metal panels. I want to do at least 3 inches. We could do maybe 4 inches of aluminum. But really, I'm going to leave the rest of the structure the same. And I guess we're going to delete these two. So delete, delete. This is a really bad system, guys, but this is what we're going to use because it's what's been prescribed. So that will be our second wall. Cool. So very much like our previous video, what I normally would do is if I've got, which sides of this building are going to be curtain wall or unitized curtain wall is probably this. I would argue this side, maybe the sides facing the street. They've said we're only going to use one of the walls. I encourage you to kind of be creative. I'm going to be pretty loose on this, either the south or the east side. I welcome you to be creative here. Your choice, your rules. Let's see what we can come up with. But in the instance of how we generate some walls here, I'm just going to jump to level 2. Let's call it level 2, and we'll call it the kind of office level. I did notice one thing here from my last video, is if you come in and you turn off the mask, you'll be able to get rid of this little, it looks a little gray if I were to be so bold. So remember, this line is our setback line. So just be very mindful of how that all shakes out. Our wall here, normally I would draw an architectural wall here using this tool. Pick my lines. Oh, wall location we can change to finish exterior so we don't go outside of our setbacks. And I'm just kind of walking myself around the building. I selected all these prefab. Oh, this is a penthouse wall, so make sure we've chosen the right one, which is our EW1. If I choose this, you should see the wall get a little thicker. And if I just make sure I've got, okay, level 2 to level 3, that's looking good. Jump to 3D here, turn off my mask, and we should see one continuous set of walls here. So looking good. Good job, me. Good job, me. Now I'm going to show you a slightly different way to do it. So I'm going to undo all that. Just delete that real quick. Turn on my mask and watch this. So instead of doing it that way, what we could do is real quick, up on my penthouse, I've got these pieces here. These kind of, if I hover and I hit tab here, I could select just one of the faces, right? So remember, back to our floors, we could do the same thing with our walls. So if I go wall by face, and then I choose my penthouse wall, that looks good. And I'm going to select this wall, this wall, this wall, and this wall. Magical. Look at that. Wild, right? Just like that, we're done that set of walls. Simultaneous to that, we could choose wall again, wall by face. And if I choose my EW1, I know that I'm going to do, for instance, I'm going to do my south face here. Again, I'm going to encourage you guys to do whichever version you want. You could, mess around a little bit. We got to get some windows in here. Definitely. This is an office building, so probably windows around the whole building, some punched openings. But it's looking pretty good, right? So we're using our mass to really get a hold of how we're going to craft these walls. Let's do a wall by face again. I'm going to jump down here, and let's see if I could find my 300 for my parking wall. So parking wall, blam, 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 blam. Looking pretty good. So if I go ahead and I'm just going to turn off my mask real quick. So all of that stuff, you could see we are ship shape for some of this stuff. One thing you might notice is that now, because we put our walls on here, and we knew that that was the edge of our setback, we are now going to have to tuck back our floor a little bit into our wall assembly by the dimension that is our exterior cladding. So anyways, we'll get there. Next thing we're going to do is the final wall here. Make sure we turn our mask back on. If we haven't used curtain wall before, I implore you to try it out at least. And the wall type here, so wall by face. And then we're actually just going to, we'll do the, let's try this one. Curtain wall exterior glazing. This is a built-in wall. If I click this, it should, like that, generate all of our curtain wall. Pretty slick. Oh, there's nothing in it. I see. Okay, so let's just real quick here. Let's see what we get if we do curtain wall empty. Okay, that's not useful. Curtain wall storefront. Wonderful. Basically useless. So all these kind of built-in ones are pretty useless, but that's okay. For right now, I just wanted you guys to see what we can get away with you could see how everything is lining up with the grids. Oh, it's not. It's close, but it's not quite right. So this is where our 1500 millimeter module might come into handy. Pretty useful. So we might start to see our, I think in that direction we've got, 9 meters. So that 1500 millimeter module. So for instance, if I jump in here, come into edit type, fixed distance. I'm gonna sneeze. Sorry, guys. I want the spacing to be 1500. Let's see what we get. Close, but no cigar. So really, that's okay. You know what? For now, this is its own thing. I just wanted to have a sense of what the curtain wall functions like. So now we've got some curtain wall in the building. Yeah. So this is the walls of the penthouse. Now what we don't have is a roof. So I didn't see anything inside of the roof with a roof type. Is there a green wall? Or excuse me, green roof somewhere? Let's see what we got. Any? I see. So no real roof per se. We just know that we have the same assembly as our excuse me, the same assembly as our slabs will be at our roof level. So I'm gonna have to just go ahead and make that up as we go here. So if you haven't used the roof tool, we can also of course use our mass if we want to. But I'm just gonna go ahead and jump into the roof tool here. So roof by face and roof pitched. Well, I don't want a pitched roof. For now, let's just do generic roof. Oh, it's not letting me oh, yeah, there it is. Okay, so there's one roof. And let's just create our roof here. A nice, beautiful, very green roof. And what we'll do is the same thing for our roof up top here. Roof by face, create roof. A wonderful green roof. And the last one we can do is, I would suggest we probably have to choose the edges here, but let's go ahead and roof by footprint. So roof by footprint, we can go ahead and we could choose our pick lines here. So I'm going to pick this line, this line, this line, this line, this line. Being pretty rough right now. We can always, the beautiful thing about Revit is we can come back in and change it as we go. Where is my line? Okay. Everything needs to be a loop. I've somehow missed one of them. It's hard to see in this view. So in fact, I'm going to make it hidden line so maybe I can see what I'm drawing a little bit easier. So turn my roof by footprint. And now I'm just going to go ahead and pick my walls. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Cannot intersect each other. So that's cool. I also don't want these to be sloped. So this looks like it's joining. Aha, you can see that's the air. Revit needs to see it as a completely closed loop. Also one here, closed loop. And I definitely don't want any of these to be sloped. So if I select one of these lines, I can hit this little check mark here and make sure we turn off sloping. And now I should be able to get a little roof. Don't attach. Look at that. Our building is really coming together. This is probably wrong. Ta-da! Come back and go to my shaded view here. So, you know, I don't want to take us too far. I want you guys to be a little creative with the stuff that we're trying to get done here. But, you know, if I jump to my grade view here, I should start to see, you know, an idea of what's happening on my floor plans with my walls. On the front here, I've got the curtain wall. I'm going to have to figure out why these column capitals are showing. Oh, it's because it's grade and not level. No, also showing here. Okay, anyways, I gotta figure out why we're showing our column capitals instead of through the columns. But regardless, we got some 3D going on, some nice little drawings happening. If I jump to my section here, what do we got in my section? You know, looking all right. This is actually an elevation right now. I could tell because I'm seeing the curtain wall. So that's cool though. If I pull that wall in, that section in a little bit, I can see it's outside here. Go back to section 2. Oh, and also my mass is on. So if I turn off my mass, we should have a better sense of what's going on here. If you notice, you've got some floors here and some columns. Oh, I'm missing my basement floor. Where's my basement? Maybe I missed it. Did I not do the floor? Maybe I forgot to. That's okay. Let's do it right now. No, it's there. Is that the mass? Damn, that's the mass. Cut this back real quick. Let's just give ourselves a mass, a floor from face, and we will do our concrete here. Create floor. Nice and quick mass. Something like that. So I hope this has been helpful. I'm just kind of racing through this. You can see we can have a pretty good idea of what the building looks like pretty quickly inside of Revit. So I know that those of us that are using AutoCAD, it's going to take a little bit longer, but that's okay too. If I just kind of cut back in the section here, we can start to see some of those elements start to emerge. We got some cleanup to do, but I think just as a starting point, this is pretty good for us. So with all that being said, I'm going to sign off for the night. I'm going to save my work. So what would be next for us? We're probably going to be looking at some of this. No, I got to do the ramp, actually. Let's do the ramp next. Cheers, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. And hopefully, if you got any questions, comments, criticisms, send them my way, and we'll keep this process going. Thanks again. Bye.